Good morning, everybody. It's another Saturday, and we are playing Farming Simulator 22 on the Glenleathann map. My name is Osa, and I am in the early stages of gathering sugar beets. And things are not really going well. I kind of got started on October 1. Yay. Did a small part of the field, and then it started raining. And it rained for the entirety of that day. So, progressed on to October 2, and 7 o'clock in the morning, it was raining. All the way through to 4 AM, October 3. So, yeah, we lost a day. So now it's October 3, and we have until 11 o'clock, and then it's going to rain for the rest of the day. So, lots of fun with the weather. That's why I've started so early in the morning. Like, it's 7 o'clock. And dark. Sun's not going to come up till 8, but we don't have the time to mess around waiting for the sun to rise. Ooh. I'm timing that bounce quite well. Keep hitting that corner. I need to buy that field and chop away the edge of the hedge, I think. So, local weather, we have cloud. I have really given up with the weather service. The weather service is just hopeless. Most of this week it's been saying, oh, it's going to be cloudy for the day. Yeah, why can I see flakes of snow falling from the sky then? That usually indicates it's snowing. I can look out the window and see what the weather is more reliably than the weather service is telling us what the weather is. There's a bunch of amateur guys on YouTube that are doing better. Today is Saturday, and I think we're looking at around about 30 degrees for the rest of the day. It was actually 40 when I went shopping this morning. So, quite a balmy day. No sun, so can't do any sunbathing, but apart from that, plus I was out at 6 o'clock in the morning and there is no sun at that time of day. To move the window, and then we can tip that. But the amateurs are suggesting that we're guaranteed to get more than an inch in the next week. Potentially, we're probably more likely to be looking at about 2.5 inches during the course of this week. But after this morning, we are looking at temperatures plunging, and by Monday we may be looking at -5 with the wind chill, -20. So, good time to stay indoors and not do a thing. Or at least not do anything outside. Hence the trip shopping this morning. Seemed like a good plan to stock up on food items when nobody else is at the store. Since our local mega grocery store is a Walmart. I was there before the pajama crowd get there. But yeah, it's weather in North America looking a little bit dire over the next couple of weeks. And then come February we should be looking at the usual Michigan style weather, which for the most part is fairly mild. I mean, we are deep in the continent, but because of the vast expanses of water around Michigan, the ground doesn't cool down quite so much. It's kind of like the UK. The weather there is very temperate based on the fact that it's surrounded by the Atlantic, the North Sea, the English Channel, and there's just no real opportunity for the ground to get cold. Now, it rains all the time. Occasionally you will get snow flurries, but I mean, when I lived there, it was like 1 year every 7 years. You'd get probably a week of snow, or snow on the ground for a week, and then it would melt and that was it. Other than that, typically I think the worst I ever got was it would snow in the evening on the way home, and it would snow in the morning on the way to work, but it would never settle, and that's all we ever saw. Now, where is... oh, there is where the Sugar Beets start. And I could have run the harvester for a little bit longer while we were out of the field, but this we're not able to haul what's in the harvester is the problem. Okay, I can probably turn that off. There we go. So if I turn that on, and probably that's a good start. And we'll empty the rest of it. And that's it, empty. So, I'm going to pull that out of the way. Worker D has completed their task. Is that you? Wow. You didn't get very far. So we'll turn the engine on. Turn all the lights on. I guess what we can do here. Now this is the other harvest, and actually works out much better than the previous one, because that header is getting close to twice the width. And so I can actually do all this wiggly waggly stuff and pick up all the sugar beets and not actually end up running any over. The problem is it's still very dark, but I've got all my light on. It's so much better. So, because of this edge of the field, harvester's not having a lot of fun covering all of it. So I'm going to do this bottom edge. I might actually do the top bit as well. Now this is the new fields that we bought, so we have we joined them all together, and the east and west ends were already harvested, fallow or withered, I don't recall which particular. And so all we kept was the sugar beets in the middle. So the rest of the fields, I did plough them together. I think I did treat them a little bit. But for right now, there was no attempt to make sure they were all completely ploughed, completely lined, completely everything. The only thing we actually managed to get done, somebody drove through that. That must have been me. Yeah, the only thing that actually ended up getting completed was, we lined this bit, but I'm going to have to line the bit in the middle. Actually, I'm not sure I did line that bit. I think that bit was already lined by the previous owner. It didn't count as lined. It just had the texture, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But I think because this is sugar beets, the entire field's going to need to be ploughed anyway. So once this has been harvested, I can get the Magnum out with the subsoiler and we'll just let it loose. And then I've got to figure out what crops go in here. We'll check on the lime status. I think the middle's pretty bad, this bit here. But I think the ends aren't great either. So it's all a bit of a mess. But yield is actually not bad. Looking at the yield status at the bottom there, we're actually getting quite a good yield, I think. I mean, obviously the field is it's only the middle bit, this green bit here, that's what we've harvested. 54% already. I'm just going to go straight through the middle. I did put GPS on this. We really don't need to care how precise I am. See, this is a nice, 120% plus yield here. It drops away as we cross out the field. I think that's down to the dirt rather than how it was treated. I can't remember what else we did. I think we already did the canola, didn't we? That was last month. I know. Obviously, this is the job I need to get done. Because as soon as we get this field out of the way, we can move on to our big field. And our big field is going to take a little while because it's big. And I'm not sure I'm then going to bother doing sugar beets next year. We have a serious supply of sugar in the sugar mill. So really now it's just a matter of, I've got more than I can process in a year. I could possibly even pay to get the sugar mill up to a level 2 mill, and it still wouldn't be it still wouldn't process what's in there. We're almost full. I don't know that we can make it to the end of the road. It is unfortunate. Ugh, seriously, how close is that? I can reverse this away very, very slightly. We didn't kill anything. Okay, let's go get... Oh, they are so far apart. This guy and harvester's over here. And of course we do have a good amount of money here as well, so things are not bad. We haven't checked here. So cultivator thing, what's that? Oh, it's actually quite a big weeder. Is it 24.5 meters? Yeah. Zerian saddle tank thing. Stuff, cow, that thing, an M7, a little bale stacker, another thing for a saddle track. About the only thing we don't have here is the actual saddle track. I think I've got one of those. What is that? Oh, that's a tree planter that plants her new trees. Yes. And a slurry thing, spreading device thing, tool. See, that would be good. But don't need one of those. I'm kind of thinking what I could really do with is possibly... That's only 24,000. That's potatoes anyway. That's sugar beets. That's 45,000. See, that would work. A beet cart, because although I'm not sure my tractors can haul it. That one's only 300. That's even more volume. So that would also work. And I could get a full load out of the harvester in all, to fill that with. What's that one? That's everything auger. Then we have the Homer. That's a sugar beet potato thing, only 35,000, and then the Kinsey. But something like that one, that would actually. Since it's built for sugar beets, I think it could probably hold the weight, which would be a good thing. But, it's something to buy, and I don't have the purchasing. I have other things I would like to do with my money. Oh. But then that said, if I did do that, I could it would make things quicker. And we still have this big field that is coming into the range of our lights there, which is huge and full of sugar beets, which is one of the reasons why I'm not thinking about planting sugar beets next year. But that means we'll be able to plant soybeans. What else do we need? We need soybeans, maize, sunflowers, and some other things. I said I was going to sit down and figure out what I need and what I have. I haven't got around to that yet. Problem with making that field wider, or taking out the hedges and then planting along where the hedgerow used to be is it puts it very close to the edge of the farm track, and I am driving over it sometimes. So that's kind of an issue. Oh, I know what I haven't done. I haven't taken my medication yet this morning. That's the problem with doing things. I have a set sort of do this, do that, make a cup of tea, sit down, start streaming. And when I do everything in the sequence that I normally do things in, I remember to do things like take my meds. When I go shopping in the morning, it can get to sort of 9 o'clock, and then I think, well, I don't think I took my meds yet. So I'm going to get us up to the sugar mill. I'll turn the microphone off, I'll take my meds, and that should be done by then. I don't know, if I bought that sugar beet car, I could do 2 trips for what currently takes me 3 trips. So we're quicker. Also, with a cart that big, the harvester will be empty. As I can only get the harvester down to 25%. That's the problem. So because of that, the harvester refills up to 75%, or fills up 75% of its capacity, and then has to stop. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back again. And I did remember to turn the microphone on, which is good. Unfortunately, I did stream Railroader on Thursday, and it took me 30 minutes to realise I hadn't turned the microphone on, which was a little unfortunate. It does look like on Railroader front that they've made a declaration that everything that is on the experimental branch is complete, and they're not going to be expanding the experimental branch. I take from that their next plan is to implement stuff that is currently on the experimental branch. I'm not sure if they'll do 100% of it. I'm not sure if some of it may get thrown away, but effectively we should be getting things like passenger timetabling. There's a couple of new industries at Andrews and Silver. They're putting a Y in at Silver, which will be nice because we'll then be able to turn our trains around, and I'll be able to keep going with the passenger locomotive at the front of the train deal. What else are we doing? And there's the whole AI go to this point deal. So you can just click at the end of a rake of cars and the locomotive will path itself to that, switching the switches it needs to and everything else, which is all nice and cool and makes the train manager's job easier, because you're not having to, okay, now go forwards, I guess about 10 car lengths, oh, you didn't connect, go forward another 3 type of thing. You'll just be able to say, just hitch onto these. And even if it's on an adjacent track, it will then figure out, well, I've got to go back to here, and And it even works out which way it needs to go to do the thing that you just told it to do. All of which is very nice. Now, the other problem I do have today is I started this job and the mowing on October 1. So some of the bales will be ready on 1 and the rest will be ready on 3 in November. So that's less than ideal. How's this going to work? Okay, that's empty. That's at 44%, but it's only got room for 10,000 more litres. I think what we'll do, we'll leave that parked there. Turn that back on. I've also become aware, so Hori is a sort of controller manufacturer, wheels basically. They do a farm sim wheel, which is very nice. I thought looked a little bit plasticky and way too pricey. My opinion. The wheel itself is quite nice. From what I remember, I think it has sticks for turn signals and windshield wipers type of thing that you would find in a normal car. And then it has a side panel as well, or side stick. And that makes it a little bit like the Thrustmaster farm stick that I bought. Except with Thrustmaster, it's not a